everybody. I'm Heidi Doyle, Director of Children's Ministries with First Lutheran Church, and this is online Sunday school, and we are located in Bemidji, Minnesota, and usually our Sunday school classes are Sundays at 9:40, and that group is all-inclusive, all age groups, and we also have Wednesday classes that go along with a supper, and we have confirmation classes, and there's also a service that we have on Wednesdays that's different from Sundays. But we can't do all that right now because we're trying to keep everybody safe through this pandemic and the chaos that is ensuing because of our world and our leaders and our care for other people, not knowing what's going on, not being able to go to school like we usually did. That'll all come back into normalcy. We will come out of this chaos, and with every chaos, we come out with a new beginning. So going through this pandemic and all the things that are happening in our world, it's going to be an exciting new beginning with new perspectives, and we're all going to get through this together and care about each other and love each other. So today is the first Sunday in the season of Epiphany, a time of light. Today is, what color is that? What do you think? A white day. And it's a special Sunday called the Baptism of our Lord. And we're going to pray together. Ready? Thank you, God, for Epiphany and this time of new beginnings. Amen. And our story today is from the book of Genesis. And Genesis means beginnings. This is the first Sunday of Epiphany, and it's all about beginnings. Beginnings may be times when you're unsure about what will happen. But we can be sure that God and God's Spirit is with us in all new beginnings. And I'm going to tell you a story of a beginning in my life. And it was a pretty important beginning because my daughter had a baby. And that was the beginning of me being a grandma. I had a grandson that was born, and that was a new thing for me. And I got to be there with her to help her when she had her new baby boy. And I got to be in the hospital waiting for him to come. And I got to see the first picture of him born because he had to be a cesarean. And that means only one person, so my grandson's dad was in there, but he took a picture of him, so that was a new beginning. And then when they were all ready to come out of surgery, I got to hold my grandson, and that was a new beginning. And I got to meet him, and I got to tell him I love him, and I just love him more and more every day. Well, we got another birth. Ready? Thanks be to God for new beginnings. Thanks be to God for baptism blessings. Thanks be to God for God's Spirit. Amen, amen, amen. And our first story is going to be in our World Story Bible, and that's got fun pictures in it. And if we were together, we could see the pictures. This is for our preschool Sunday school classes through 2nd grade. And then in 3rd grade, we give our 3rd graders Bibles like this one. So they move on to the next Bible, which has more words and no pictures. This story is in the beginning. Imagine that. Today is a special festival day. We celebrate Jesus' baptism. We're going to talk about creation today. And water was a spectacular part of God's creation. The first words in the Bible are, in the beginning. And chaos is a word for a big mess. So I'm going to do chaos on my mermaid pillow here. Chaos, 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 chaos. Okay. And that's a big mess. And God moved the world from messy chaos into order. So I'm going to make this all white again. Should we do it again? It's kind of fun. Okay. Chaos, 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 chaos. And then we're going to make it be order again. So in our world, we have chaos going on. That's not the first time. So, in the beginning, there was chaos, and God always comes and makes order. And he tells us how to do that in the Bible. So we're going to read our story now. In the beginning, it's Genesis 1 through 5. That's what our story is today. In the beginning, nothing made sense. It was chaos. The earth hadn't taken shape yet. Darkness was everywhere. But God's Spirit was already there, always moving, moving, moving. God decided to set things in order. God made light. And God saw that it was good. God named the light day and the darkness night. God created the sky and separated the water from the land. Plants and trees popped out of the ground. God filled the seas with all kinds of fish. And God saw that it was good. The night shone brightly during the day. The moon glowed gently at night. Birds burst into the sky. Bugs buzzed through the air. Worms crawled through the dirt. The fields and forest thundered under the feet of all of God's animals. And God saw that it was good. What's your favorite part of God's creation? God created people, male and female. I have placed my image on you. I bless you, God said. All of creation is for you. Eat the plants, tend the animals, care for creation, and grow, and grow. God looked over all creation, and it was very good. Finally, God rested. I love everything God created. But why spiders? I don't know. Just something to think about. So I have an activity here, and I have a light colored paper, and I have a dark colored paper. And one side is light, and on the other side is darkness. God created both, and we need both. I'm going to name some things we do in the light and some things we do in the dark. So, we're going to show the light side. So if you have a light colored paper and a dark colored paper, or you could color a light side on one side and dark on the other, then you can do it along with me. So if you're watching this as a video, you can pause it and find a paper. We're live right now, so I'll do it with you. So we're going to show the light side. If you would do these things in the light. And we will turn to the dark side if we do it in the dark. Ready? Play outside. Usually in the light, but sometimes in the dark. Sleep. No. In the dark. Dream. Well, I can dream in the dark when I'm sleeping and in the light when I'm awake. So I dream all the time. Eat ice cream. Probably in the light. Tell scary stories. Probably in the dark. Play kickball. In the light. Ride bikes. In the light. Swim. In the light. Watch fireworks. In the dark. Play hide and seek. Probably in the dark. If it was light, you'd be easier to find. So, in the dark. Watch a movie. Probably better in the dark. I think you see it better. Bake cookies. In the light. Look at the stars. Well, if it was light, you wouldn't be able to see. In the dark. Good job. How about look at the clouds? In the light. Because if it was dark, you wouldn't see the clouds. What are some animals that God created in our story? Well, all of the animals. What are some animals God created that are your favorite? Well, my favorites are hippopotamuses, and I like puppies, and kitties, and elephants. Those are good ones too. God saw creation, and it was good. What's your favorite part of creation? Do you think creating things is work or fun or both? Well, it is work, but when I create things, it's super fun. So I would say both. Why do you think God rested when creation was complete? Because he was probably tired. That was a lot of work. Why do we need to rest? So we can grow and we can not be tired and we can feel good. Because I know when I don't get enough sleep, I get a headache. And it's hard to think when you get a headache. So we all need our rest. Our story today was about beginnings. And at the beginning of our time today, we didn't know what was going to happen. But we spent some time reading the Bible story and hearing about God's creation. What do you think about God's creation? So I have something here. And I don't know. Kinda, what do you think it reminds you of? Looks a little like chaos, don't you think? Pieces of fabric, there's orange and blue, some more orange, some green. Here's some plaid looking stuff, and some soft, silky little blue, purple. Ooh, here's a lot of same color as blues. A lot of squares. See what else I can find in here. Ooh, there's some browns, some more blues. Looks a little chaotic to me. So, what do you think you could do with a bunch bunch of fabric like this. Yes, you can make a beautiful quilt. This is a beautiful quilt. That the ladies of our church made for my daughter when she was confirmed. So it says, First Lutheran Church to Megan Doyle, confirmed October 28, 2012. That was a long time ago. But this is a very nice lap quilt that our quilters made for my Megan. They started with a bunch of chaotic pieces of fabric, and they made this beautiful, thoughtful quilt. And it's very appreciated. On to our World Lectionary NRSV Bible. And that's for our 3rd through 6th graders. And we are going to look for Genesis, first chapter, verses 1 through 5. So you can look that up. That's probably the easiest one to find because it's in the beginning of the Bible. So today is the beginning of a new church season. And the season after Epiphany, the word epiphany can mean a sudden appearance. Today we'll read about God's appearance through the waters of creation. We also hear about God's appearance in the waters of Jesus' baptism. So maybe you want to watch the YouTube video of our church service today. And we have shells. I have a couple shells here. And shells remind us of water. And it's kind of a symbol of baptism in the church. We have shells that come from the ocean that are the homes for creatures that live in the ocean that God created in the beginning. So we're going to close our eyes. Close your eyes. What does it look like? And your eyes are closed. Yep, dark. Okay, keep your eyes closed. On the count of 3, open your eyes and shout, "Let there be light." Okay, ready? All right, close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. Let there be light. In North America, the season of Epiphany arrives at the darkest time of the year. When Jesus was born, the Magi saw a bright light in the very dark sky. They wondered where it was headed, and they followed it. All season, we celebrate the light Jesus brings. And we're going to sing This Little Light of Mine. And I think I will be more successful with this when I have somebody to sing along with me. So I'm going to pull up a video so we can all sing it together. All right, you ready? This little light of mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. That was fun. Way better with accompaniment. I think that was a successful This Little Light of Mine. And so, we're going to talk about chaos again. And we just talked about that. So, can anybody tell me what chaos means? And I'll have my little visual aid here. Woo, stop. Guess they wanted to sing some more songs. We're not ready for that song. Okay, so chaos, a little bit of chaos there. It is a little bit hard to define, but we've all seen it. So, a messy house, that's chaos. A noisy bus ride. Have you ever been on your school bus and everybody's talking and everybody's maybe throwing things? Not everybody, but some people sometimes throw things. And the bus is going down the road and you're on a bumpy road and maybe the music is playing and it's just chaos. And nothing makes sense. And we can all make order out of disorder because we could maybe help pick up our messy house or maybe not be so noisy on a bus ride. And God helps us make order out of chaos. In the season of Epiphany, we celebrate light. And our text today recalls this first story of light. Day, first the morning was there, and evening was there, and night called he, darkness, the and daylight, the called God, darkness, the from light, separated God and good was light, the that saw God and the light was there, and light be there let, said God then, waters, the of face, the overswept God, from wind a while, deep, the of face, the cover darkness, and void formless, it was eartha, and the heavens, created God, when beginning, the in. Well, did that make any sense? Absolutely not. Because I read it backwards. And that was a little chaotic, right? Alright, let's read it the right way this time. In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void, and darkness covered the face of the deep, while a wind from God swept over the face of the waters. Then God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God said that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning on the first day. All right, I'm going to keep going a little bit. And God said, let there be a dome in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. So God made the dome and separated the waters that were under the dome from the waters that were above the dome. And it was so. God called the dome sky, and there was evening, and there was morning on the second day. And God said, let the waters under the sky be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good. So there was water, and we need water for baptism. When did you realize that I wasn't making sense when I first read this story? Did any words jump out that helped you figure out that what I was reading? Or did you stay confused until I read it from beginning to end instead of from end to beginning? How did God make order out of the chaos? How did I? By reading the story from the beginning. God said creation was good. What is something you've done or made that is good? What did you hear today that was new? As God created, chaos was turned into order. Sometimes today, we seem to do the opposite as we create chaos in our lives. Where do you cause chaos? Where is there chaos in your life? How do you find peace when things are chaotic? We remember the waters of creation and baptism, and let there be light. We're going to close in prayer. God, help us take the light we share here out in our community. Amen. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I'm really glad you could spend this time with us in our online Sunday school. Hoping soon we can come together in person. It's been a long time, but it's way better to have Sunday school when you guys are here at church and we can talk about things and we can learn things instead of you just watching me talk about the Bible lessons. But I just want you to know that God is with us during these times of chaos and unknown. Life is unknown, and we just have to trust God that He's with us, helping us through our chaos. Love you guys. Bye.